Hello and welcome back Tech. In this video I'm going to show you how to make a Cyber Gas Mask Neopixels with using an Arduino Nano. Let's get started. And these are the items you're going to need to make for this project. The items you're going to need: an Arduino Nano, 26 NeoPixel RGB LEDs, a 330 ohm resistor, a shrink tube, a 9-volt battery, a 9-volt battery clip, and a gas mask, and some wires. Now let's go ahead and assemble this project and let's get started. First, what I need to do is modify this gas mask. What I'm going to do is just simply take it apart. And there we go, it comes apart just like this. And as you can see, the NeoPixels can fit inside. And it should look just like this. So that's one idea. And the second idea is to modify these pieces by cutting out the plus sign so that way I can place a NeoPixel inside. And there we go, should look just like this. And as you can see, I cut out the plus signs. Next, I'm going to take this 3D printed panel, flip it over and use the smooth side, or a piece of glass would work too. And the idea is to take these two pieces, take a little bit of glue stick, place it onto this panel, and now take the pieces and put it on top. Next, I'm going to take some hot glue, which is also another form of plastic, and what I'm going to do is fill up the inside of the plus sign. Doing this will allow the glue to be opaque, which will allow the LED light to disperse more evenly, and then on the side where you can see it will be nice and smooth because of this flat smooth panel that the glue is going on top of. Fill it in gently, and as you can see, it is now solidified. You can see that it's nice and opaque, which will allow the LED light to shine through. Right now it's stuck, so what I need to do is take a putty knife and carefully release it, and it comes off just like this. And as you can see, this piece here is nice and smooth. Next, what I'm going to do is solder tin both ends of the NeoPixels. And there we go, should look just like this. Next, I'm going to go and take these two NeoPixels and also solder tin them. And the idea is to put this piece in the gas mask, and then take the Arduino Nano and place it in, just like this, and then have the NeoPixels go around it. So what I need to do is take a wire and get an estimation of how long the wire needs to be, so that way I can connect the two NeoPixels together and the Arduino Nano. Feeding it through and cutting it right here looks about right. And there, that's the length I need. Now, do that 2 more times. And there we go, I have 2 more wires which will connect the two NeoPixels together. Next, what I need to do is remove the insulation on both ends. Solder tin them. Solder 1 wire to 5 volts. Solder 1 wire to data. And to ground. Next, I'm going to take the single NeoPixel, and what I want to do is place them on these 2 parts, and then attach them to the longer end of the NeoPixels. Next, what I need to do is get an estimation of how long the wire needs to be. Place it in, go to the other side, place it through, and there, now I have an idea of how long the wire needs to be. Cut the wire to the proper length. Do the same thing for the opposite side. And there, I have all my wires. Attach it to the NeoPixel, and it should look just like this. Next, what I'm going to do is carefully bend the wires, just like this. And I'll take the wires and feed it through the mask, and place the NeoPixel right here, just like this. Next, take some hot glue and glue down the NeoPixel. And there we go, the NeoPixel is now glued into place. Repeat the same process with the second one. And there, that part is now complete. Now I can take these cover pieces and place them on top. And there we go, should look just like this. Next, I'm going to take these wires and feed them through. And there we go, should look just like this. Next, I'm going to take this cover, feed the wires through, place it in. Next, I'm going to take these wires and solder it to the Neopixel with the arrows pointing this direction, so that way I can follow the current going to the single Neopixels. And that way, the whole circuit will be unified. Solder to ground, data to data, and 5 volts to 5 volts. And now repeat the same process on the opposite side. Next, take the gas mask cylinder and put it inside. And now take the Neopixel and place it inside, going around the perimeter, and there, should look just like this. Next, I'm going to take these input wires of the Neopixels and feed it through the mask. And do the same thing I showed you earlier. Place it through, just like this. And now take the input wires and feed it through the mask on the opposite side. Next, repeat the same process on the opposite side of the mask. And there we go, those output wires are now connected to the single Neopixel. And now take the Neopixels and feed it through the filter cylinder. Same thing for the input wires. And now take the input wires and connect it to the Arduino Nano. Before I do that, I'm going to take the 9-volt battery clip and place it inside of the gas mask. Place it in just like this, and feed the wires through so that way it can go to the Arduino Nano. Next, remove the insulation. Next, take the positive wire from the 9-volt battery clip and place it over to VIN, or voltage input. Place it in, clamp it down, and now solder it into place. Cut off the excess. Next, take the negative wire from the 9-volt battery clip and connect it to ground. Repeat the same process. Solder it into place. Cut off the excess. Next, take the data wire from the Neopixels and connect it to data 6. Solder it into place. Take the 5-volt wire from the Neopixels and place it over to 5 volts. Solder it into place. And now take the ground wire from the Neopixels and place it in ground. Solder it into place. Next, I'm going to take these 3 extra wires and I want to solder them to the same wires that are on the Arduino Nano, which is connecting to 5 volts, ground, and data 6. So that way I can connect the Neopixels that are on the opposite side of the mask, so that way it can connect to the same input. So that way, both inputs on both sides connects to the same input, so that way it's not 26 Neopixels that are running in one line, it is only 13. So then that way, 13 Neopixels will run the same animation. Doing this will allow the Neopixels on both sides of the mask to run equally. And now let's go ahead and test it out. Plug in the 9-volt battery. And as you can see, it works. Both the Neopixels are running the same animation. I forgot to connect a 330 ohm resistor to the data pin. Doing this will protect the LEDs and make the LEDs last longer. It's an easy fix. All I need to do is simply take the data wire and cut it. Remove the insulation. Take the 330 ohm resistor, shorten it. Take the shrink tube, place it over the wire. Solder tin the wires. And solder tin the resistor. And now solder everything into place. And now take the shrink tube and cover it. And of course, shrink the tube. And there, the circuit is now complete. Now let's go ahead and test it out. Plug in the 9-volt battery, and as you can see, it works. Next, take the Arduino Nano and the Neopixels and place it inside of the filter cylinder. Place it in carefully. Next, I'm going to take some super glue and glue down the Neopixels. Spray some activator. And carefully glue down the rest of the Neopixels. And there, she'll look just like this. The only thing I did not glue down is the Arduino Nano. The reason why is I want to be able to pull it out and reprogram it if I ever need to, just to change the animation of the Neopixels. And now it's time to close everything up. And there, the project is now complete. Now let's go ahead and see how this looks in the dark. Now, I made one little mistake. I accidentally made the wires too short. I mismeasured, but that's not a big deal. I can still comfortably wear the mask. And now it's time to plug in the 9-volt battery to test it out and see how this looks. Oh wow, this looks very nice. This looks really cool and really amazing. Now let's see how this looks in the dark. Wow, this is really cool. I have to say this is one of my favorite projects. What I really like about this design is the LED light is shining through these grills, which is casting some shadows that looks really cool. And as you can see, the project is now complete. Now it's time to test it out. I have the 9-volt battery. I'm going to go ahead and plug it in. And I'll put on the mask. And there, as you can see, it works. As you can see, this works, and it looks very cool, very nice. Now, here's something else. In the previous project, I made these goggles. Click on the annotation card right here on the corner of the screen to see how I made this in a previous video. Now, what I'm going to do is put these on and be completely with LEDs. As you can see, this looks very cool. As you can see, this looks very cool. It looks very nice. I like the design, and I like how it lights up on the sides and on this part here that I modified. It looks very nice. Now, let's see how this looks in the complete darkness. Oh, actually, this makes a very good flashlight. If I walk in the dark, I can actually see what's going on. And I can see it lighting up my shoulders, too. Yeah, this looks very cool, how it lights up very bright on the sides. Now let's see what happens if I add the goggles to it too. As you can see, this looks very nice in the dark. And there you have it. Thank you for watching SciTech. I hope you learned something new, and don't forget to like and share and subscribe, and of course click on the bell icon to be notified of future SciTech videos. Till the next tech, goodbye.